we have to start with the first game that Luka Doncic has played against the Dallas Mavericks in his career. And it was weird. I mean, it was weird. I got to be honest with you guys. My feelings are that of strangeness. I don't know really what to think, and I still don't know what to think. Like, I thought there would be kind of some closure maybe. There really wasn't any. I didn't love how I felt. I didn't know how, honestly, going into the game, I didn't know how I was going to feel. Like, I had a feeling Luka was going to pop off, and he did play pretty well. Although I will say the Mavs did a good job against him. A triple-double, his first triple-double with the Lakers, 19 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, only 2 turnovers. Didn't shoot well, but played a good game. I mean, got his teammates involved, saw a lot of double teams, made the right pass almost every single time. I mean, shit that we know Luka Doncic does, right? I didn't know what was going to happen when the game started. I didn't know if the game was going to start and Luke was going to hit a 3 and I was going to feel something where I was like, oh, fuck yeah. You know, like, yeah, yes. Like deep down, like, yes. Or if he was going to hit a 3 and I was going to be like, fuck. Pissed off, find myself rooting against him. I didn't feel anything. It was really weird. I found myself rooting very hard for the Mavericks. Very hard. Probably the hardest I've rooted for them to win a game this season. So do with that information what you will. It wasn't like rooting against Luka or anything. It was just I wanted them to win that damn game. It just would have felt good, right? I didn't find myself mad that Luka was doing good though either at the same time. It felt so bizarre. Luka still doesn't have his legs, but he's starting to mesh with the Lakers offense. Yeah, he doesn't have his legs still. I think that's obvious, in my opinion. Like, people will shit on me for that. I don't care. I've watched every game of Luka's career. I'm sorry. I don't think he looks anywhere near healthy still, right? But with that being said, he's starting to mesh well with the Lakers. What's meshing well? I mean, they're going longer stretches with him on ball. Like, that's really kind of it. They're going longer stretches with him on the ball. And yeah, I guess that's it, Paul. I guess I leave with the realization that I am a Mavericks fan above all else. I don't know. I fully respect anyone who has made a decision one way or the other about where their fandom goes after this. But, you know, I'm a Mavs fan. I'm going to root for them. That's just the reality. I said it at the start of the game in the playback stream. If you're going to be in the chat moping around, then get the fuck. This isn't the stream for you. Like, we're not going to be doing that. I get so annoyed on Twitter. Like, let me just say this. I had some guy who was replying to me all night last night. And yes, I got one guy. But understand this, though. There's a lot of these one guys out there, right? Who I tweeted about PJ Washington. And I'll just say this real quick. PJ Washington was rage liking some tweets last night. I'll just say that. Which makes me sad because I never, ever say anything bad about PJ Washington. I never say anything bad about PJ Washington, but he was rage liking a few tweets last night, which was weird because none of the tweets had his name in it. But okay, I've been there. Hey, look. PJ, I get it, man. I'm a public facing figure as well. I'm a public figure myself. When people talk about you on Twitter, it's hard not to see it. And hey, look, I get it. I fired off a few subliminal likes myself in my day. Someone's tweeting about me, just letting you know I see it, right? And look, I get it. The PJ, I've been there, bro. I know what it's like, PJ, to be, again, a public figure, famous, and people talk about you. I understand it, right? I get it. I get subliminal liking tweets. I'm just going to assume PJ Washington was liking a bunch of tweets and not just mine. He doesn't like the Paul nickname. What's up with the Mavs social media team doing that? When did that happen? The switch to Paul. Rage likes are hilarious, and I've done it myself. Yes, I tweeted a few times about PJ. Only being like, who the fuck is, like, what is PJ? This is not PJ. What is going on? This is not PJ Washington. But look, we've been there, and you might think, honestly, thinking about this, right? I know what you guys are thinking. Slightly, how on earth can you compare yourself to an athlete who has hundreds of thousands of followers? Like, how can you compare? When you think about it like this, realistically speaking, and I'm no troll shit. This is being serious. How many people watch TNT? Like, realistically, a couple million, 1.5 million, 2 million. How many people watch ESPN? 1, 2 million, 3 million people, maybe. How many people watch YouTube? Billions. So, in some strange way, you could make an argument that since I am streaming on YouTube, that I potentially am more famous. Now, that's something that you could argue. But yeah, anyways. So that happened last night. I felt bad. PJ was liking my tweets. Love you, PJ. Been there. That's true. How many people watch Slightly Biased streams illegally? Like, we're not even factoring that into the equation. We're not even, thousands watch it legally. How many are watching it illegally? Probably 7 to 8 million would be my guess. We've run some numbers on this behind the scenes. 7 to 8 million, somewhere in that range, probably. Side Bias, boycott the Mavs with us. I can't. And this goes back to what I was saying. Thank you for bringing me back on track, actually. There's guys who replied to my tweet about PJ. And we're basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, but we're basically like, PJ's always been shit. I'm happy I don't have to root for him anymore. Or it's the same guy did something similar about Kyrie. And it's like, man, you were never a fan. Ever. If this is the way you feel, right? If you've jumped ship and now you're turning around and shitting on the players that you once rooted for, like a month ago, you were never a fan. Ever. You understand? And I'm not gatekeeping fandom. I'm being serious. You were never a fan. That's not how it works. So this was a nice litmus test for anyone who thinks I actually hate Luka. Doug, if I actually hated Luka, I would have been, he would have gotten traded. I said, oh, thank God. Finally, guys, I can just outright say it. I didn't like him. All right, you guys were right this whole time. I didn't like him. I didn't like this, that, and the third. Like, I'm happy. Like, let's move on with our lives. No one's hating the players. Everyone hates the front office. No, I've seen people hate the players. I don't know. I just think that's lame as fuck. Truthfully, I do. I think it's lame. Everyone can do whatever they want, but I think it's lame as shit. Thoughts on people named Paul? Hey, Paul's a good name. We got a couple of Paul statues outside the Slightly Delusional Club. Another hit piece in The Athletic about Luka today. I really don't give a shit about those, man. Is there a new one today? And there he is. Paul has gifted 5 memberships. All right. The what did you eat today story? That's so funny. What did you eat today? Hey, donuts. Another Paul statue. All right, so the game happened, right? And before the game started, Luka debuted the Luka Force. Kind of a surprise thing, right? Was there any rumor talk about that? I've had Luka's name muted on Twitter for a while now. Probably 3 or so weeks. So I have missed quite a bit of... I have missed a good amount of Luka stuff just because I don't want to see it. I got to be honest with you. I muted it because I couldn't do it. It just got annoying to me. It wasn't like an anti-Luka thing. It was just like, I can't go on Twitter. I'm trying to maybe look at something else, and it's just bombarded with shit that makes me feel sad. Luka Fours, in my opinion, these are dreadful. In my opinion, these are dreadful. I just think it's been a steady decline for the Luka shoe, which is unfortunate because I've mentioned this. The Luka ones, for me, are some of the better basketball shoes I own. I just think they look really good. I like the colorways of the Luka one. The silhouette's fantastic. One of the better Jordan shoes in a long time, like Jordan players' shoes. The Jordan line itself has been releasing some pretty good shoes. The latest ones, I don't know what number they're on, 30-something. The latest Jordans are nice. The newest ones. What number are they on? 32s? Anyways, yeah, these look like a bad version of the Tatums. I think these look awful. It's something like that. They're in the 30s, I'm pretty sure. But the Luka ones were great. Luka 2s, I thought the silhouette was good. I thought they made some good colorways. I thought the Luka 2s actually looked good. It was kind of controversial, a little polarizing, the Luka 2s. But I thought I liked them personally. The problem is they're bricks on feet. They're bricks on the feet. They hurt badly. They're the worst feeling basketball shoe I own and played in. Luka 3s, didn't like them. They look like Skechers shoes to me. Didn't get a pair. These look bad. So they've gone downhill a little bit there. It kind of feels like Jordan just accidentally falls into good shoes every now and then. I mean, Luka, after the Luka 2s dropped, I remember Luka never wore them. Luka was a Luka 1 guy forever. I will get a pair of the Shea shoes. Absolutely. I'm going to get them. These look like shape-ups. Yeah, I don't know. They're giving Skechers. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan of them at all. So anyways, then the basketball game starts. And the Mavericks, it looked like we're in route to get destroyed. The way that the game opened up. Luka pops off in the first quarter. Hits a couple of threes. One of them double-teamed on the wing. Shoots it over him. He makes it. Everyone's like, oh, he's talking shit to the bench. It's just like, oh, man, here we fucking go. Like, we deserve this in a lot of ways, right? But no, they go back and they reverse it. It didn't count. But I feel like the psychological effect of that three going in still counted, if that makes sense. Like, yes, they went back and they reversed it because he was standing on the out-of-bounds line before he shot it. Is there any other player that has as many three-pointers taken off the board than Luka? I'm sure there is. Hasn't Strus? I know Strus had one in the playoffs, but I feel like he kind of gets him taken off the board quite a bit. So Luka pops off in the first quarter. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 of 7. Doesn't shoot well from the field, but you could just tell. The Mavs double team him defensively, send help. Luka makes the right pass every single time. Big reason why the Lakers started off well from three. Weren't red hot from three, but we're hitting good looks. Took 23 threes in the first half. And the Mavericks found themselves down by, I believe, 16 at one point late in the second quarter. But to the Mavs' credit, and this is what they've done all year, the Mavs fought back, got the lead down to 8 at halftime, and was like, okay, all right, hey, they're in this. Max Christie, who had a rough return to Lakers land. 10 points last night, 4 of 13 from the field, 6 assists. That's nice. 1 turnover. But 4 of 13, 2 of 4 from 3. Starts the game off horribly. Looks terrible. But had a huge last 3 minutes of the second quarter where he hits a couple of threes. He hits a couple of threes, and he gets a nasty block on Luka Doncic.
It's been a drought, almost 4 minutes without
a nasty block on Luka Doncic in transition. That kind of got him going. And honestly, he played pretty well from there on out. The Rui block was crazy. Yeah, Rui played well last night. But hit a couple of threes after that. And I thought settled in and had a pretty nice game. So shout out to Max Christie. It looked like he was seeing ghosts a little bit. I mean, this was an interesting game because it was a playoff atmosphere. You know, there was a lot of emotions. This is the three right here that took it down to 8. It's a big moment. And then the Mavs come out in the third quarter, and just for like the next, 20 or so minutes of game time, maybe even more than that, 20 or so minutes of game time, they're within 1, they're tied, they're within 3. They could just never get over the hump. Lakers went 11 of 40 from 3 overall is why the blowout didn't continue, by the way. Yeah, that is true. The Lakers just went ice cold from 3 in the second half, which allowed the Mavs to get back into it. But all in all, I don't think the Mavs played a terrible basketball game. Process-wise, I thought they got good looks offensively. The Lakers did a good job. I mean, the guys who they wanted to shoot threes shot threes. But I thought the Mavs did a good job. They generated good looks. Kyrie popped off. Kyrie was awesome last night. 35 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 of 27. He was phenomenal. I mean, he continues his All-NBA campaign. And what was best for Kyrie? First quarter, 14 points. Like, that was when the Mavs were really struggling. That was when the role guys for the Mavs were really struggling. They scored 20 points as a team in the first quarter. Kyrie had 14 of them. There was about, with 3 or so minutes left in the first quarter, the Mavs had 16 points. Kyrie had 12 of them. So Kyrie was phenomenal. Klay popped off in the second half. 3 threes in the span of about 90 seconds in the fourth quarter. That tied the game. This is why plus minus is a wonky ass stat, guys, for single game stuff. Klay was a minus 20. The Mavs are absolutely not in the game if it were not for Klay Thompson. Kyrie was a minus 10. I mean, can the Mavericks be a top 10 offense for a season-long sample size with this current roster with health? It's just so hard. Like, we're just guessing. Top 10 offensively? I mean, sure. Top 10's really not. I mean, the Rockets are a top 10. I don't know if they still are, but the Rockets were a top 10 offense. Top 5 defense. Oh, absolutely. This team could be the best defense in the league if they're healthy. AD can't come back, yeah. So anyways, the boys fought hard. They clawed their way back into it and just couldn't get over the hump. And yes, that is when having another ball handler would be so nice. And I'm not even doing the Luka thing. I'm just saying in general. This is why at the trade deadline, I was just like, why the fuck did you guys not do something else? I really don't get the logic. You guys have to look at your team and understand that you're lacking in the creation department, on-ball creation department. And when Kyrie's getting double teamed, they're showing help. It just puts a lot of pressure on guys like PJ Washington, who had a major stinker last night. I mean, his worst game as a Mav offensively. Najee Marshall, who was 2 of 7 from the field. Puts a lot of pressure on those guys. McMahon reported the Mavs hope to get Lively and AD back to play some games together before the postseason. Yeah, PJ played well defensively, and I do think the Mavs played pretty well defensively. The Lakers missed some shots, but, I mean, Luka 1 of 7 from 3. You force Luka to take some tough step backs or some deep threes, whatever. That we've known this. That's one of the ways you hope to beat Luka, is maybe his shot's just not falling tonight. Mavs in 6 with the 199. I'm worried about Najee in a playoff setting. Oh, I am as well. MP from 2K25 is available. Is that what they still call him, MP? What do they call your player this year in 2K? When was it? The worst one was DJ. That was the dumbest one. That was the dumbest storyline they had. Wait, I quit. I was a top draft prospect and I quit to go be a fucking DJ? Are you kidding me? Like, what kind of story is this? Are you going to do a 12-hour stream on the Bigs reevaluation day? Yeah, maybe. Najee hit a floater over LeBron and gave him a little too small. And I loved it because he gave him the too small, but it was just like, it's like when a little brother celebrates on the big brother a little bit, and he doesn't want him to know he did it. It's like a quick little too small, and then just quickly ran up the court. No, I didn't say anything. The Lakers did. Yeah, the Lakers didn't look good last night. Just straight up. In the Mavericks, you see all these tiny things here and there. You see Kyrie playing at an all-NBA level. Absolutely. should be an All-NBA player this year. You see Clay still can dig deep and give you that 90-second, 2-minute long stretch where it's like, oh my God, Clay just hit 4 threes. Like the game's completely different now. You see Max Christie, who had a rough game last night, but Max Christie, the totality of him since he joined the team, really great role guy. And it's like, man, you're about to plug in the best front court in the league into this mix. And it does change the dynamic a little bit. Lakers or Mavs in playoffs slightly don't dodge. I mean, how do you account for that size? That's what I'm wondering. We do this all the time in the playoffs, and it's just teams that have size just win. Aaron, with the 199, if the Mavs are healthy, what's the playoff rotation? Like, how do you account for the size that the Mavs have? This year, Lakers win? I really don't know. I would pick the Mavericks to win that series, to answer your question. I'd pick the Mavericks against every other team besides the Thunder. I'm just being honest with you. I would think about the Nuggets. I would pick them against every single team. Mavs versus OKC thin. Mavs have a lot more size. The Thunder is where I would push. I would feel a little bit. I mean, the Mavs match up way better against the Celtics now. That much is certain. Yes, this was great for Vegas because the Lakers didn't cover. Luka didn't hit any of his overs. The Mavs didn't win because I bet you there was a good amount of people who are like, my God, we got to bet against the public here. Mavs fully healthy are a matchup nightmare. Yeah, but it's just the continuity piece. By the time the playoffs get here, ideally, this team will have, 2 weeks together? 3 weeks, maybe? And then, and then they're in the play-in tournament, and they might be the 8 seed. Well, at the 5, like I did last night, had a motion going to the stream, but wasn't going to bring that into the stream. Said go Mavs, wanted let y'all have a good time. I appreciate that. Well. I had Mavs +9, Luka under points, and PJ +15 points. Oh, and a parlay? Damn, slightly looks great and is hiding his pain very well. Thank you. Thank you for that. Couldn't AD be evaluated and still need surgery? Why are people assuming he's back 100%? The way that they talk sounds like he's going to be back this season. I was a AD's going to miss the season truther. Full stop, I was. But I don't think that's the case anymore. If that were the case, I don't think he'd be getting on-court work. Like, we do know Lively's probably going to be back. We do know Gafford should be back. But the Lakers, I mean, it's just Luka, LeBron, Reeves. It's nasty, man. It's nasty. Reeves is a dog. LeBron really didn't play all that well, and then the fourth quarter came around, and he took it's insane. LeBron's 40 years old, man. There will never. I feel confident saying this. I never want to say never because hopefully the league lasts. I mean, hopefully we still have centuries left of the NBA. I don't know if we'll ever see a guy dominate the league as a 19-year-old and dominate the league as a 40-year-old. It's just crazy. We had no size for Rui and Braun. Yeah, and that's why. So people were concerned about the hard doubles. I mean, you have to double team, man. You don't have the size, right? If you single cover Luka, and let's say Luka beats his guy, but you have AD there helping off, Jared Vanderbilt in the corner, and he can slide down and help on a drive, or you have Lively who can help on a drive, or Gafford who can help on a drive. That's a different story. When you don't have that guy, you really don't have a choice but to double team. You can't let Luka get to his spot because you don't have that help. LeBron being this great sucks for Kevin Durant. Imagine the praise KD would be getting at his age if LeBron didn't exist. How about Chris Paul? Like, Chris Paul is, 40 as well? Like, Chris Paul's been great for his age, but nobody gives a shit. Chris Paul's about to turn 40 in a few weeks. Chris Paul cannot hold a candle to Stockton, man. Prime Chris Paul was a motherfucker. Prime Chris Paul is better than Prime John Stockton. I'm telling you that right now. Okay. I'm here to tell you that. You kids didn't watch him at Wake Forest? Oh, man, that makes me sick to say. We could talk about a current NBA player and say, you kids did watch him. Oh. Prime Chris Paul was like a top 3 player in the league, man. Lakers get so many buck naked, wide open threes. Yeah, they do. I mean, Luka, LeBron, and Reeves, all 3 guys, Reeves to a lesser extent than the other 2, but still does put so much pressure on a defense. So much pressure on a defense. But I thought the Mavs did pretty good defensively. I mean, their rotations in the second half were much better. They closed out on shooters much better. They rotated much better. They helped the helper better. Dodo, I thought, played really well defensively in this game. Just another former Mav in this one. 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3. But defensively, I thought he was awesome last night. So was Vanderbilt. The Lakers are good. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. The hierarchy of the West is really weird. Really, really weird. There's so many teams that look completely different than they did before the trade deadline. You got to let Luka play out one-on-one, though. That was a dumb game plan. You don't have the size to do that. You just don't. If AD was there, if Lively was there to help, then I do agree. If healthy, the Mavs can match up with the Lakers in the playoffs. I think you play Luka one-on-one with PJ. Brandon with the 5. I don't know if you talked about this today, but I'm so tired of the month-long leaks of shit-talking Luka, like from The Athletic, etc. Really drawn out now. All right, is it worth looking into that? You standing by the head shaving? I'm standing by the head shaving. If the Mavs make the finals this year, I'll shave my head. We're going to get into some of the post-game quotes and stuff from Luka, Kyrie. Where is NBA Central tweeting those out? I don't have an Athletic membership. NBA Central. Oh, man. Here we go. Here we fucking go. All right. I really do hate doing this. I said I was done doing this. Nico Harrison reportedly didn't want Planet Mavericks to revolve around Luka Doncic and made it his mission to trade him by the summer. Whispers via league sources suggesting that Dallas decision makers, most notably general manager Nico Harrison, no longer wanted Planet Mavericks to orbit around Doncic and had grown determined to trade him by this summer at the latest. So that confirms what Cato told us in that video, in the Luka trade video, that this trade was going to happen. There's not a world that exists where this trade did not happen. Whether that was now, in the future, it was going to happen. Crazy. Yeah, the wording there, orbit around Luka, like, you know, it's more fat. It's more fat shaming on the Mavs end. The Dallas Mavericks reportedly, what is this Theo Pinson shit? The Dallas Mavericks reportedly had an issue with Luka Doncic smoking hookah and drinking beer. Make no mistake, the people who witnessed Doncic's last days in Dallas do not paint a flattering portrait of the 25-year-old's professionalism. They call him lazy. They talk about the weight issues that were such a frequent frustration within their walls. They mention the social habits that The Athletic has reported on, such as a taste for beer and hookah. I mean, we've all been there. We've all been there. I've never been a hookah guy. Never really understood it. Can somebody explain the hookah stuff to me? It's the same way. It's the same way I kind of feel about. I've been to hookah bars. I don't know. It's the same way I kind of feel about vaping. Where it's like, you know what, man? I'm hitting a vape. I'd rather just smoke a cigarette. Like, I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Do we know how bad vaping is for you? We probably fully don't grasp it. Cigarettes stink. There's still just an aura about cigarettes. And I'm not saying you guys should smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes. But I'll let you guys know. When I was in Europe this past summer, you want to know what's one of the best feelings in the world? Just walking down a European street and ripping a fucking cigarette. And I started talking in an accent, too. I started talking in an accent. Like, I started to feel different. Like, tourists would walk by and be like, Americans. Stupid Americans. Like, I don't know what the hell got into me. Yeah, I need to get a cigarette sponsorship. Where, though, European country? It's not. London, which London isn't as much. It was more Copenhagen for some reason. Gave off such a cigarette vibe. Amsterdam. England is my city. If I smoke anything, it's going to be a cigarette or a joint. I'm cool as fuck, bro. Never catch me with a pussy vape. I don't like vaping. I just hate the way it smells. I have to be honest with you. I know cigarettes stink. Vapes reek to me, man. It makes my stomach hurt. Like the little like blueberry scent, man. Please do not do that in my presence. It smells so bad. It literally makes my head hurt. Anyways. Which have been a point of concern for NBA type since he was a 19-year-old star for Real Madrid who was entering the NBA draft. They predict his basketball demise, highlighting a health history that, as some see it, will likely lead to catastrophe in the next 5 years or so. God. Theo Pinson says the Sixers should shut down. Oh, that's it? All right, let's see if we can get this. Let's see if we can read this. Fuck you. How do I get to reader mode? Immersive reader? Hey, sorry, man. Sorry. I had to do it. Luka Doncic powers Lakers past Mavericks with first triple-double of his LA tenure. I will say, the verbiage here, got to be honest. My browser history. What do you guys think my browser history is on my like streaming desktop? What do you guys think? What do you guys think my streaming history or my browsing history is here? Green screen, yeah, green screen issues. Why is my monitor going staticky? It's pretty much all that. DEI politics. How to get better sleep. What does that mean? Why do you think I searched how to get better sleep on? I'm just curious. Why is mic volume low? Yes. All right. First and foremost, LeBron did a lot of the powering. I'm just being honest. That's not any hater shit on my end. That's just honesty. As Luka Doncic prepared to run out of the Los Angeles Lakers tunnel for his pregame warm-up, he was serenaded with cheers and applause by multiple rows of fans wearing a number 77 Lakers and Slovenia jerseys lining the railings. Okay. See, this is what's fucking annoying. The Lakers DJ quickly shifted from hip-hop to Serbian music as Doncic started shooting left-handed floaters. Like, all of this stuff's going to be highlighted. Now, the Mavericks did this shit, man. The Mavericks did this as well. Just letting you know. Sources, somebody close to the Mavericks organization has said LeBron actually did the powering in recent loss to the Lakers. What stings most is that Luka didn't get chance with this team this year. I feel like they would have made a very deep playoff run. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. On the other side of the floor, Dallas Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison watched Doncic warm up while he leaned against the scorer's table. A few feet away from him, Anthony Davis, who remains out with an abdominal injury, took set shots around the floor before finishing his warm up with free throws. Do we have any new information here, honestly? Like, this is what's been, and if there's no information, new information here, I'm going to regret doing this, because here's the thing. Oh, wait, this isn't even the article. Okay, I was about to say, what even is this? Where is the article where they were bashing him? It was Stein? Oh, okay. All right, that was a nothing article. And a lot of this stuff that came around, like the kind of interesting information is that they were planning on trading him regardless. The non-interesting information to me is, Luka had a hookah and drinking thing. Yeah, we've known that. We have known that. If you've been around, if you've been in Dallas circles, you have known that to be true. There have been rumblings forever. I will just say that. If I'm sure you guys have heard them as well. Been rumblings forever. It's like, hey, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like Luka is like drinks a lot. Like that's been a rumble. Those have gone around for years upon years. Yeah, it's like fans aren't going to give a shit. Any tips for growing long, beautiful hair like yours? God-given talent. I don't know what to tell you. Couple beers is nothing. No, the rumblings were, it was more than a couple beers. But again, who cares? There's been so many things that have been said behind the scenes, like, hey, in like gossip circles in Dallas Fort Worth that are like, hey, did you hear X, Y, and Z about Luka? It's like, who gives a shit? I don't care. It's not my life. What'd you do with all the steroid headbands for last season you're providing for Luka? I want one. We threw them away. The doctors, there were some chemicals in there that shouldn't have been in there. Here we go. Let's listen to some of these quotes. Emotions. Luka Doncic was asked if facing the Dallas Mavericks gave him closure about the trade.
Luka, were you looking for some kind of closure with what happened tonight to allow you to move on? And if so, did you feel like you got that?
I mean, the closure is going to take a while, I think. It's not ideal. But, like I said, I'm glad this game is over. There was a lot of emotions. But we go little by little, and every day is better.
Luka, were you looking?
Is a rumbling like a rumor, but even less evidence? You're in rumblings. Yeah, I mean, they're people say shit all the time about Dallas athletes. Like, if you especially if you have friends who work in like service industries, you hear shit all the time about these guys. Especially if you have friends who work in like higher end restaurants, you hear stories all the time about Dallas athletes. Like stories all the time. One, Dak Prescott, apparently, incredible guy. Apparently, like one of one, incredible human being. Everything that I've heard. Ezekiel Elliott, let's just say, I wasn't too happy when Ezekiel Elliott came back to the Cowboys. I haven't heard anything bad about any Mavs players, honestly. Dwight Powell, apparently an incredible human being. My audio is bad today? Really? Luka Doncic on seeing his old Dallas Mavericks teammates for the first time since being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers.
You have the handshake with Kyrie that you guys had in Dallas to start this game here. You go over to see Derek Lively after the game. Is there a specific moment, maybe with your old teammates, that you can share with us what that was like?
I mean, yeah, you know, Kai is my hermano. We go way beyond basketball, so it was good to see those guys. Like I said, we went to wars together, and it was really fun to see them all.
Luka, you have the handshake with Kyrie.
Luka Doncic was asked if he saw Nico Harrison. Oh, God. Was asked if he saw Nico Harrison during his pregame workout and if he's ever experienced anything similar to this trade in his life. What a dumb fucking question. No offense.
A two-part question. One, I don't know if you saw Nico Harrison was there on the court when you were warming up and then sitting right behind the Mavericks bench. If you thought about going over to him or saying anything to him at all. And then just the second part is, have you ever had anything like this trade happen to you in your life? Like whether, I don't know, a breakup or something like that. Have you ever had anything like this experience?
No, definitely not. That was different. I definitely didn't have like that. But yeah, I didn't see no warm-ups.
Not at all. Not at all. Just not in the warm-up.
Hey, Luka, you got traded in the middle of the night. Literally never been traded in your life. Have you ever experienced something like this? ESPN's finest, folks. ESPN's finest.
Coming into tonight, live, your teammates express excitement for you to have this game to come to be a play against the Mavericks. What did their excitement do for you? I guess how did you feel? I guess their energy, not just tonight, but coming into tonight for you.
Sorry, can you repeat?
How did you feel your teammates' energy? I guess galvanize around for you coming into tonight.
It was great. You know, like I saw Dodo say, you know, we got his back. You know, and it was amazing. You know, they're trying to push me. I know I didn't play great, but you know, I'm glad we got the win, and you know, they're trying to push me more and more.
Luka coming in.
Amazing. It's amazing. Luka, in your experience of never being traded, have you ever experienced a trade before? I don't care about the LeBron question that much, to be honest with you. Luka Doncic felt it was so weird facing the Dallas Mavericks, but glad his Los Angeles Lakers won.
You turned and let out that roar.
I'm glad it's over, honestly. I am too. I am as well. It's amazing. Kyrie Irving said it was awkward as shit to play against Luka Doncic. For the first time since he was traded from the Dallas Mavericks to Los Angeles Lakers. It was fun. We got a chance to feel like we were in practice all over again going at each other. It's honestly a hilarious answer.
A lot about the emotions of tonight's game, and part of that included you. He called you mi hermano. What was it like going against him?
Awkward as shit. You know, it was awkward, but
awkward.
You know, now I could talk about the emotions of it. Yeah, no, it was awkward, but at the same time, it was fun. You know, we got a chance to, you know, feel like we were in practice all over again, going at each other. You know, that was a good reflection point. And then just, you know, seeing the crowd cheer for him and, just get him going and see him make some of the tough shots that I've seen him make thousands of times. That's probably made it even more awkward. But, it was fun. It was fun competing. A lot of high-level basketball players out there, a lot of high-level plays, high IQ plays. It's what you want to be a part of as a competitor. And you could tell J.J. Redick was trying to prepare the guys emotionally, especially Luka, and I feel like he handled himself well. It was a good show out in L.A.
I think Kyrie looks great. Honestly, I think he does. Clean shaven. Kyrie Irving talked about how his relationship with Luka Doncic goes deeper than basketball. He credited the team's historic 12-day preseason trip, which included Abu Dhabi and Madrid, as key opportunities to connect. This is one of those lifetime things for me. It's a nice answer. I'm not going to listen to all the quotes anymore. Kyrie Irving believes the Dallas Mavericks' potential after injured players return from the lineup. Irving wants Anthony Davis to get fully healthy or as close to 100%, but is excited about the potential. Irving added, "Our margin for error right now is really small." Carving on paying respects to Kobe and Gigi Bryant's statue. I needed that before the game just for my own peace of mind as I move forward in my healing journey. Kyrie Irving was asked how Luka Doncic has handled the possible feeling of rejection caused by being traded to the Dallas Mavericks. By the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. Irving added, "I don't think he expected the change." Kyrie's probably annoyed having to answer all these fucking questions. Like, how do you think LeBron and Luka are meshing together? Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not on the team. Jason Kidd was asked about Luka Doncic's approach against the Dallas Mavericks. "I thought he picked the spots. He was able to find his teammates. He was Luka. He drove it, made plays, and also finished. He fills up the stat sheet like no other player." That's it. Kyrie's not going to LA, man. He's just not. He'd have to take a minimum contract, wouldn't he? No, it's also not what they need. You're 100% right. Look, Kyrie's staying here, guys. I feel so confident in saying that. I feel so confident in saying that. The Mavs are going to pay him. 1, 2. Mavs are going to pay him 1, 2. I still stand by this, and I'm not. This isn't based off of anything. It's just my feelings. I do not think the Mavericks do this if they really feel like Kyrie's going to leave. Honestly. I do not think the Mavericks do the Luka trade if they actually feel like Kyrie's going to leave. And also, beyond that, I felt that if Kyrie thought the trade happened and Kyrie's like, "I'm out of here," we would have heard by the trade deadline. We would have heard by the trade deadline. Why would the Mavs pay Kyrie 50 to 55 million a year and not Luka 60 million a year being 7 years younger? They don't like Luka. That's just it. We do not like Luka. That could have been the tumultuous offseason. Let me tell you guys this. The tumultuous offseason. I've said this. I'll say it again. The tumultuous offseason. What do the Mavs mean when they say that? They say this. They're saying this. We weren't going to extend Luka. That's what they mean when they say that. It wasn't like, oh, we think Luka was going to ask out. They were not going to extend him at the number he wanted. That would have been the tumultuous offseason. That's what they mean when they say that. Kyrie to the Mavs was a mistake in the first place? No, it was not. They didn't like Luka. They don't like Luka, man. They don't.
Traded mid-season in the fashion that he did. It was like Super Bowl week.
Where the hell's that coming from?
We were in the Super Bowl a couple.
I don't get going after Clay with the talk of needing defense. Genuinely, where did that audio come from? Nico hates Euros, total xenophobe. I'm happy. I'm surprised it took this long to get to that point. Nico is racist. Nico hates Europeans. I'm surprised it took that long, but we are here. Oh my God, guys. I just now remembered something. All right, let's move on. I just now remembered that. I'm just excited that I remembered something for once. I just remembered that softball season starts tomorrow night. Man, opening day is here. Can't wait, man. I got a pair of batting gloves that should be coming in today. Gonna hit a dinger, hopefully. I'm usually very rusty. I'm usually very rusty to start.